Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is July 25th, 2025, and this is the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass Friday Meetup. Thank you for joining us for this special program we have today. If you are new to our programs and want to learn more about us, please visit aacgglass.org. We have these programs every Friday, and they are really from all over the world, so a lot of variety and interesting things to learn about. Today, we have a very special program coming to us from New York. It's the Bead Project, UrbanGlass's free scholarship program that introduces women, femmes, and gender non-conforming adults with financial need to the art of glass bead making. And this program is really transformational for the women that take part in this program. It's so instrumental in changing the course of their lives. And I appreciate you being with us today to learn about it, to hear from Kate Dowd, the Director of Education for UrbanGlass, and the women in this program. And also from Ghislaine Sabti, who is the Bead Project Director. So we have a lot of speakers today. We'll also be seeing a lot of glass and jewelry that you will be able to buy if you're interested. I will put the link to the shop in the chat, so please do check that. And if you have questions, also pop those into the chat and I will get to them either during the program or at the end. All right, Kate, please go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Demetra, and thank you to AACG and for putting this on, and to everyone for being here today to learn about the Bead Project and help celebrate the Bead Project.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. From our test earlier now, for some reason, there's a lot of noise coming through your speaker. Maybe you have some papers or something you set in front of the speaker that might be touching it. And
how about now?
Now it's better, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you.
Okay, just want to make sure. Are you seeing the presentation now?
Yes. I've seen the presentation, but gosh, I apologize. We are still hearing that that playback coming through on your speaker.
There's no papers or anything.
Is everyone else hearing it, or is it just me? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to adjust that. Maybe I'll try. How about that?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, so just want to go back to this presentation. So just to give a run through of what people can expect for the presentation, I'm going to share a little bit about UrbanGlass and its history, and the Bead Project and its history and impact. And then I will turn it over to Ghislaine Sabti, our wonderful Bead Project Director, who will share about the curriculum and the program's outcomes. And then we'll turn it over to three really amazing alumni from the program who just finished the spring program. We have McKenzie Grant-Gordon, Serena Hale, and Naomi Garcia, who will be sharing their journey and their practice and some of their jewelry. And as Demetra said, there'll be a link for you to shop at the UrbanGlass store and shop some of these artists' works and works of other Bead Project alumni. And as Demetra said, if you do have questions, you can pop it in the chat. And then, we can also, if there's time at the end, we can come back and circle back to any questions that maybe we couldn't get to. So if you're not familiar with UrbanGlass, we're a nonprofit based in downtown Brooklyn, and we're proud to be the leading resource in glass art in New York City. At our core, our mission is to support artists and expand open access to glass as a creative material. We believe in glass as a tool for experimentation, expression, and community building. We do that in a few ways, through our open access studio, the magazine, the gallery and store, and through our education programs. And I'll tell you a little bit about each of those now. So the studio is a 17,000 square foot studio that supports over 400 professional artists each year through rentals, fellowships, residencies, and access to specialized equipment. And the artists who come through the doors have included notables like Dale Chihuly and Tudzinski, Karen Lamont, Maya Lin, Thaddeus Wolf, the De La Torre brothers, and many, many others. Our in-house magazine, Glass, the UrbanGlass Quarterly, along with the blog, The Hot Sheet, has been covering the field for over 40 years. It's one of the few publications out there offering real critical writing on glass and the artists who create with it. And then we have the Agnes Ferris Art Center, which includes the Robert Lehman Gallery, and that's where we present exhibitions that explore new directions in glass from a wide range of voices and perspectives. And also included in the Art Center is the UrbanGlass Store, which features handmade objects from emerging and established makers. And through our education department, we offer entry points for all ages, skill levels, and backgrounds to learn the creative possibilities of glass. From introductory lessons to master level intensives led by internationally acclaimed artists, UrbanGlass's programming provides a space to explore this amazing material. Our programs are designed to be accessible with scholarship support and strong partnerships with local schools and organizations. Some of those include NYU, Pratt, Brooklyn Tech, STEM Matters NYC, the VA Hospital in Brooklyn, and the Fort Greene Park Conservancy, just to name a few. Here's our mission. UrbanGlass, the New York City-based nonprofit established in 1977, fosters experimentation and advances the use and critical understanding of glass as a creative medium. So now a little bit about the Bead Project. That's the program that stands out the most really for its impact, and it's just been around for so long. It was founded in 1997 by Annette Shapiro, and her idea was beautifully simple: offer free glass bead making and entrepreneurship training to women who could benefit from an opportunity like this. No experience necessary and no cost to participate. And at the time, there really wasn't anything like it. A professional hands-on program based not just on learning a creative skill, but also turning that skill in a way to earn income. And it has stayed true to that vision for more than 25 years and has expanded over time to include femmes and non-binary folks, mentorship, and alumni support built into the program. There are over 350 people who have gone through the Bead Project. And some have started jewelry businesses, others use their skills to sell at markets or online. Some have become teaching artists, studio techs here at UrbanGlass, designers, and some have joined our staff. But what really sticks with me is how people describe the experience. It's not just a class, it's a turning point. And a lot of people say it's the first time they really felt welcome in a creative space. And it's that sense of like confidence, connection, and possibility that grows from being in that environment. And it often leads to long-term creative and professional growth. We see alumni come back all the time as studio users, instructors, mentors, vendors at our events, building their business and reinvesting in the community here at UrbanGlass. And they inspire the new coming Bead Project participants along the way. So in the past couple of years since I've been here, we've been working to grow the program beyond the current cohort, and that is with this alumni network. And we continue to build out this network. It's very strong, and we host alumni-specific markets and events, and we try to create opportunities for alumni throughout the year. It's a program that over the years has continued to impact and inspire. Even me, my first glass experience was 20 years ago, making beads with a Bead Project alumni, Rosita Walsh, who was like one of the very first students of the Bead Project. And it impacted me enough. I'm still working with glass 20 years later. It's pretty amazing. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ghislaine Sabti, our incredible Bead Project Director, who brings such care and vision to the program, and she'll share more about the day-to-day experience and what makes this community so powerful.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you for having us. So my name is Ghislaine Sabti. I'm the Bead Project Director. I'm French Congolese, and I used to be a Bead Project student. and 9 years ago. And since then, I've been taking classes, scholarship, and I never leave the building. So the goal of the Bead Project, our mission is very simple but powerful, is to empower women, femme identify, no binary, and gender no conforming individual to build a financial independence. So basically be financial independent, and they can create their jewelry making and the glass bead without no fear and keep making their artwork. So what you're looking for is creativity and confidence and a sense of community, and also making beads and jewelry is very important. So our program provide both artistic skills and also a business knowledge. It's necessary to launch a small business. So our students doesn't have to have any experience in glass making. And what you ask is openness, curiosity, passion of creativity, and the love of glass, the most important things. So our program is divided on 2 core components. Next, please. So the first one is the glass bead making, flame working. Is 3 hours in the studio. So what they're learning of the foundation of the glass making, flame working. And the first thing, what they learn is safety. Safety is first. So all the safety protocol and also how to use the glass tools. And also the next step is to understand the materials and the structure of the lamp working studio. And then you add another layers, the technique, how to shape and form and coloring the glass beads. Next is the creativity and working at the end of the Bead Project to have a body of work and a small collection of glass bead and jewelry. And our next step is to explore their personal artistic journey and also be able to work as with the community and collaborative experience. So this is very important for us. And one more thing is to have joy. Working on glass on the torch is about having fun and having joy. So you are also giving them this feeling of freedom, joy, and learning any color and shape through the bead making and the flame working. And very, very important, one more thing is to be patient because it takes time. Next, please. So our next component of the program is the business part, because you want them at the end to be entrepreneur. So they have to learn the foundation, how to be a small business and an entrepreneur. So it's 1 hour classes, but very condensed. So what they are going to learn is to turn their artistic practice to a small business. So first, they're going to learn the marketing strategies, very important, how to talk to the public and be very, very confident, understanding pricings, expensive, and the financial tools. The legal structure also, you're going to go through and very deep. So for them, at the end of the class, at the end of the session, they can register as a small business and find like different knowledge and what kind of business they want to be named and put the registration. And also a next step is the vocabulary. So as you know, working in business for many years, you have a certain knowledge of vocabulary. So they have to learn how they can express themselves and what kind of language they have to use. And also it's going to improve their be confident and having a good communication skills when they're asking for a grant or applying just being in the market selling their products. So sell techniques is very important. So you're going to work on prices, marketing, packaging, very important, and the branding of their products, and having a long-term strategy. So at the end of the Bead Project, they can see themselves for 10 years from the Bead Project, or 5 years. They can project themselves and their business. So, and also is what you're doing for the Bead Project is group conversation. The Bead Project is very special because during the session, during the class, you bring guests. You bring a guest speaker, jury maker, business, small business director, anybody is like willing to show the student how is to be an entrepreneur. You bring any guest artist. It could be international, national, even the Bead Project student could be also one of a guest speaker. Next, please. So the teaching style. So the Bead Project is very unique classes and a very unique program. The way I teach the classroom is a collaborative experience. It's just not the teacher, the instructor, but is a group effort, is me teaching and also having the student input during the classroom. So it's going to be a supportive group effort with myself and my team, and also having, considering and learning what is the struggle, what is the need of the student, adjust the curriculum based of their needs. So each student are willing to participate during the classroom. And also you do like review, portfolio review, and also artistic development during the classroom. And also personal reflection is very important because they all are going through a new journey, because most of the students never work on glass, and also half of the students never have a small business. So next, please. So who this program serves? So basically, this program is to help any emerging artists to dive in the world of glass making. So to be financial independent and very successful. This is our main goal. Being in the Bead Project, you want to be the best bead maker in the world and the best jewelry designer. So who you are serving? You are serving women, gender, non-conforming individual to develop their business skills. So, and also this program is for anybody for low income, and also to help any woman or any individual gender who want to pursue their career in the glass bead making and jewelry making, and have the passion and serve the community. This is one of the key components of the Bead Project, is all about the community and the creativities. And also is a safe, creative space. Thank you. I think this is my last slide. Now I have the last one. So the outcome, what happened at the end of the Bead Project? So at the end of the Bead Project, all the students are going to have and be able to make a beautiful collection, handmade glass bead collection. It could be jewelry and accessory. And also they're going to have the foundation of entrepreneurship and the knowledge to be a business woman, a strong business career in the glass bead making. So it's also very important for us at the end of the Bead Project for them to come with a strong artistical identity with their collection and knowing what is about and having their voice. So this is one of the best way to help any young emerging artists to have their voice out and knowing what they're doing. So confidence is one of the key, launching their small business and be a very creative business jewelry or glass making. So a last thing I'm going to add for this beautiful bead project class and cohort you used to have during the fall and the spring session is for us to connect creativity and helping them through their artistical journey to succeed and be financially independent and build a strong communities. Thank you so much. And I think this is my last slide.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Kate, and thank you, Gigi, for inviting us to speak today, and also just like your guidance throughout the Bead Project. Yeah, we couldn't have made all of this progress without you both. My name is McKenzie. I'm a visual artist based in Brooklyn, and my artistic practice began with like photography, collage, and now expanded to include glass, which I'm really proud to say, and that I didn't really think I would be able to say before. I started the Bead Project. So a couple of months ago when I started the Bead Project, I was unemployed in a really draining like artistic rut as well, and was just feeling really stagnant and needed a source of inspiration. I was looking for studio assistant positions and just different art programs to really like jumpstart get my creative juices flowing again. And a friend of mine who frequents the UrbanGlass store actually gave me a flyer about the Bead Project. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know that UrbanGlass had existed. And I mean, I had a love for stained glass. And when I used to make like charm bracelets and things with my friend, I would love like glass beads and things like that. But I never really thought too much about the process and how those things were made, or yet alone thought that I would be making them a couple months later. And as many of you know, like when you're searching for new opportunities, it can really feel endless. I'm sending out applications like all the time. So when I got the response back from Kate and Gigi and got an interview, I was really ecstatic. And then when I officially got my acceptance email, I was over the moon, of course. I was just filled with so much like hope and so much, just so much gratefulness, I guess, that through our conversation, they saw something in me that really pushed them to accept me into the program for the spring cohort. So from the first day of the program up until the last day, I really think the Bead Project is such a dream. I met so many incredible artists, learned what it takes to run a small business, and really was super blessed to develop a new skill. During the Bead Project, I think through all of the lessons, the guest lectures, and the business knowledge that we were able to attain, I really learned to let go of fears. I mean, you're working with fire, so you kind of got to give into it, and just find confidence and really start to trust my own artistic voice and vision. I really learned to like let things flow and just use the incredible resources all around me to create my first real jewelry collection. And can you do the next slide? So glass is a really ancient art form, or glass or flame working. It comes from the earth, and nature has always been so grounding for me. I grew up in Maryland and my family's from Jamaica, and I feel like the creations and the pieces that I was making, like as I experimented, often ended up being these really biomorphic, nature-inspired forms, from memories of places that I've been, or just like different florals and pieces that inspired me during my journey and conversations with like other people in my cohort, like as they saw I was making these like lilies and weird shapes and flowers, they were like, oh, have you heard of bleeding hearts, or have you heard of like these things? And I was always like on Google searching these like sketches of natural pieces. My sketchbooks are filled with like all of these different ideas of things I did create during the project, which you can see here. These are some of like my first pieces, some rings, these really like funky little beads and hair charms I was making, a lot of like mushroom shapes and the insides of like orchids and flowers. But yeah, through a lot of conversation and development, I was able to create my brand, which is Land and Sea, as a way of honoring this art form, my heritage, the environment, and really just like the conversations that I was having with people that kind of led me to lean into my artistic voice. So these were some of the pieces that I started making. And it's really great to look back on these first couple of pieces because you see just how far we've all come. During the project, it was 2 months in total, but I don't know, it was really cool just like learning each week from Gigi and from all of our guest artists and seeing how we applied those lessons to our own work and how we all ended up with such unique styles, as you'll see with Serena and Naomi's work as well. And also just a really strong bond and support system within our current cohort, but also the wider group of alumni as well, that I'm often running into, like when we're renting space in the studio and going to events. We had like the gala earlier this year, and it was really nice to see everyone wearing their pieces and talking about their work. And yeah, so it goes way beyond just the classroom element. It's continuous. Once you're a part of the Bead Project, you're really a part of a family, and I felt that so much while we were doing our lessons, and even now after the fact. I feel like I've never met such a generous group of artists, generous not only with their knowledge, but their time and really their energy, such a supporting group of individuals, whether they're the techs on staff or just people that kind of work in the development area or at the front desk, or are, you know, volunteering at events or donating their time, or even just sitting next to you renting space, but they see that you might be struggling with something and offer some pointers. So I really, really love the community there. And like, obviously I'm going to continue to grow my brand and do the work that I'm doing, but it really gives me hope to be able to give back to that community as well. I've been talking to some people in education about doing studio monitoring later in the fall. And then maybe if I continue on this path, I'll be able to TA and help a future Bead Project cohort someday. I think the program really empowered me, and I was able to really use that and carry that into my workflow now. I'm really taking a lot of like workshops and classes to sharpen my flame working skills, spending time with the other artists in the space. And I also started exploring the hot shop too. I made this cute little, I don't know if you can see it. My little dainty bowl. She's small, but I'm proud of her. And I know it's like the first of many things to come. Yeah, jewelry making has really inspired me to like make even more things, and thinking about like housewares in the future and like all of these like larger vessels and things that I could make. So it really just plants the seed for all that I hope is to come for each and every one of us. Can I have the next slide, please? So this was the collection that I created specifically for our graduation trunk show. So not only do we get like all of the classes, but then we get to have this culminating moment where we each get like our certificates, our pins, and then are able to vend and share our work with the public for the first time, which is a really like exciting experience and very like vulnerable experience as well too. Coming from like photography, I've only really sold prints in the past. I've never sold objects that I've like handcrafted and made. So it was a different experience for me, and really, really special. I called the collection Warm Winds. it was really commemorating just this season of change for me and like all of the things that I've learned. It's made of obviously like my handcrafted beads and pendants using soft glass and borosilicate, and then also repurposing sterling silver and other findings that like I've thrifted throughout the years or sought out specifically for this collection. Again, my background's not consistently been in jewelry making. I don't have like a background in metalworking and soldering, so it was really a great skill to like learn how to piece together things, wire wrap for the first time, and really like enhance the glass beads and the pieces that I was already making. The piece that I'm really proud of in this collection is the one towards the bottom, the pendant that's kind of like this lariat bolo. And I think it was a real testament to all that I learned in the project, because my mentor, Maria, really encouraged me to start working with borosilicate as she saw that she was like, I don't think all of your structures are really going to hold as a soft glass. Like there's some limitations with it. And I think you could really like expand what you're doing by working with this stronger glass and material. And I kind of took that and ran with it for the last couple of weeks of the project. So this pendant in the center is kind of like a fusion of a bunch of broken and half finished pieces that I've made over my time of kind of like exploring and getting frustrated. And I fused them all together, and then I took a piece of cord, strung it together, and I attached some of the first glass beads that I made with soft glass at the end to make the part of the little bolo tie. And I actually strung it up the morning of the trunk show, and it was the piece that I think everybody loved the most. And it really taught me a lot about just trusting my instincts and my voice, and moving with confidence. I feel like I haven't had such like reckless abandon and in a while, and like just kind of like are moving in a space that allows you to be your full self, and to and really just encourages you to lean into your ideas, and it gives you the tools and the resources to really refine them as well. So I was really proud of the collection that I made. I was surprised by how many sales I made as well, and it just really encouraged me to do more. So yeah, I'm using that inspiration to plan a pop-up for next month with a couple of friends of mine to officially launch my brand. I'm working on a website, and I'm really, really excited about what's to come. And that was really a testament to the incredible program that is the Bead Project. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and thank you to AACG for inviting us to speak about our work. And I'll pass it on to Serena.
Hi, thank you, McKenzie, and thank you everyone for making this happen, Gigi and Kate. Yeah, it's been really an amazing experience for me as well. I've always been a artist, and I got my painting and drawing BFA. Um, and since then, I got it upstate. I grew up in the city, and then I moved back, and I had no space to make the paintings and drawings I was making. Um, and so I gravitated towards DIY clothing stuff and jewelry. And at first I was just I've always loved glass. I've always loved glass beads, but I had findings and centerpieces, some crystal, some glass, and I strung my own jewelry, and I was selling that kind of at markets and stuff, which is similar to what I'm continuing to do now, but with lamp worked jewelry. Um, and it was great, and it really led me to love jewelry. And I'm a teacher, so the kids would always be like, "Did you make that?" And I'd be like, "Yes." And then they'd be like, "Oh, you made that the crystal in the middle?" And I'd be like, "Oh, no, I didn't didn't make that." And talking to adults, they can understand that it's still handmade piece, but with children, it's harder. It's not quite impressive enough. So I definitely came back to working with children with a huge chip on my shoulder, just with all my glass pieces, being like, "Yes, I made this on a fire." Show them the videos, they love it. And I love it. It really has ignited a passion in me. So when I got accepted to the Bead Project, when I heard about it, I was really, really excited. I never thought I'd be that kind of artist, like kind of a tools artist. I'm more of just a, um, you know, less handy type of artist. But I'm able to do it, and it's fabulous. I love making glass beads. I'm obsessed. One of my signature beads were hearts, as you can see. These are some of my first beads in these photos. And then I also made rainbow tubes for Pride. Um, yeah, next page. So yeah, this is the piece that's on sale at the Urban Glass store, which I'm also, since the Bead Project, I've started working at the Urban Glass store. So it's really fun to work there and be like, and this is my art right here. So that bead with the big blue bead with the heartbreak pattern is was one of the designs that I was super proud of. And I liked, I did a lot of my pieces with, all of them are on chains, which is something I never worked with before. I did fully beaded pieces before this, but I really wanted the glass beads to stand out on the chains. And so I did that. And also adding carabiners, which is kind of a nod to lesbian culture and just, being gay is wearing carabiners on your neck, at least for me. And the piece in the photo on the right of me are all of our signature beads. So the Bead Project, one of the really cool parts of it was we all had to make beads for each other at the end. And I was so excited to get everyone's beads, because the whole time, I'm looking at people's work and I'm like, oh, well, I want that. I want that. And finally, I got them all. So I made this necklace out of all the beads, all of our signature beads. And then the top choker is mine, and then that I made myself. And then the earrings are actually from my mentor, Hannah. I bought them from her, and she's been awesome. I think the mentor aspect of it is a really useful useful tool. I mean, I learned about markets from her. I got hooked up at the Urban Glass store, working there from her. So there's a lot of connections to be made. And I'm continuing to find connections after the Bead Project. And I guess another thing I'll say about this slide is, obviously I'm very inspired by color. But one of the things that I was really surprised about was just how obsessed I am with blue glass and just the blue glass options that were had. I wouldn't say blue is my first favorite color, but it's getting up there with the more blue glass I make, and I'm gonna have to start buying some blue clothes. It might become a problem. So yeah, next slide. Okay, so these are my Pride tubes, and I have two designs here. One of them was with these rubber covered wires that I twisted and made kind of curlicues. It's a little hard to see, but that's fine because those designs are totally discontinued because they didn't sell amazingly, and I liked the beaded design better. So I put most of my Pride tubes, now I still have many available, on chains with other beads that I've not lamp worked. And yeah, this was another inspiration with color, was just like seeing that color gradient and trying out a new shape, because the whole time I was so focused on making hearts. And this kind of happened organically. I was trying to make a heart that was, rainbow, but I accidentally made it way too long. And so I couldn't mold it into a heart. And so instead I molded it into this cylindrical tube shape. And that's where my Pride tubes were born. So if anyone's interested, I've all the necklaces I'm wearing are available. You can hit me up on Instagram. $100. This could all be yours. And yeah, I guess so. Yes, I'm working at the store. Yeah, a big thing is the community. The community that's come with this experience is life-changing. And a word that McKenzie used that I didn't even have in my notes was, yeah, this has really empowered me. Which it's created an art practice that I didn't even consider. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think that I'd be working with fire to create art ever. And now I just really can't see my life without it. I mean, I keep wanting to go back, and I will keep going back. And I really hope that I can take more classes, and yeah, I would love to TA a bead project. Just slipping some ideas into people's heads. And yeah, it's been really amazing. Thank you so much, Gigi, for being an amazing teacher, and Kate for all your support, advice in the studio when, things don't go right. It's always really helpful. And just the community in the studio, people working there are always willing to help you. And yeah, it's really great. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Naomi. I'll jump right into it since we have, I believe, 15 minutes. So, in the past 10 years, well, I started making jewelry since my childhood, but officially more so in the last 10 to 15 years. I've been making jewelry using fabrics, paper, the rose petal earrings. That I used silk there. I make jewelry that's at the time before selling it. I was just making jewelry that felt that felt right to my personality and who I am, and I was collecting and using secondhand beads. And I mean, I have so many beads that was donated to me, and I was making basically secondhand made jewelry. And then I was encouraged by a loved one a couple of years ago to open up an Etsy store. And yeah, we can, next slide. Yes. And my curiosity continues to grow. I was curious about metalsmithing. So I went to Metalsmith Works in Brooklyn, and I learned to solder. And I also got better at making necklaces and string beading. It's my ultimate favorite thing. But when Metalsmith mentioned the Bead Project, I was so excited, and I did have to wait a year to apply. And then a year later, I got accepted, and I am extremely grateful because it is life-changing. Sorry, got a little distracted. Okay. So, so I was collecting beads. They were donated to me. I learned to make metalsmith, to solder, and I applied to the Bead Project. Next slide. And here is work that I've done at the Bead Project. The Bead Project changed everything for me. I was making jewelry not only for it to fit my personality and who I am. But it also was a coping mechanism for me. And now I feel like because of the Bead Project, I can be more artistic and create pieces that I also sketch designs. I actually found the sketchbook that I was using from 2015, and I'm excited to look back at those designs and bring it with me to the studio to make some some pieces. But these are some earrings that this is what I'm working on right now. I don't know if you can see. This is just a prototype because obviously it's a process and we're still learning, and I'm still learning. But see, some pieces broke, but we're still learning, and I'm very proud of this. And I'm very proud of this journey, and to it's just so crazy to me. It's a great opportunity, and um yeah, I was also inspired because like I mentioned, that the Bead Project, I mean, before the Bead Project, it was a coping mechanism for me. And now I'm creating pieces that's more artistic, and now I can do more storytelling. And yeah, that's what I have to say. So thank you guys for hearing us out. And I also I want to share my gratitude to the Bead Project once again, because I've come across a beautiful community of artists. Um, I've been searching for a community of artists, and now we're here, and we reach out to each other. We have group chats together. We look out for each other. Like, hey guys, this kiln is, I just rented a kiln that's humongous, and it's not enough. I mean, it's enough for some of us who would like to join. So like it's a beautiful community to be in, and everyone is so sweet and so talented, and I'm just so excited for our journey as we continue to grow in glass making. Oh, and on the bottom left, that's my where I have the bracelet on. That's also pieces we all made together, and I made it into a bracelet. And let's see, and also the jewelry that I make is inspired by my mental health journey and healing journey, and also the changes of seasons of New York. Um, and yeah.
Thank you, Naomi. And thank you, Ghislaine and McKenzie and Serena. To all of you watching, I hope you can see how the Bead Project really shows how transformational creating can be when a person is provided access and support and opportunity. And all of this program is free to these participants. But it does come at a worthwhile cost. Each cohort costs UrbanGlass about $30,000. I would like to share a video that was created by the managing editor of the magazine, Andrew Page, that just shares a few more voices from alumni of the Bead Project.
Say action. For me personally, it meant a new start. It was an opportunity to reinvent myself. It was an opportunity to learn exactly what's inside. You don't know what's inside sometimes. So when you are challenged by a new medium, it's really interesting to see exactly like what you come up with. So, yeah.
The feeling of belonging to a community is something that I can't compare to anything else. The use of a bead, even if it's a single bead on a chain, it is decoration, it is spiritual for many, many different cultures, and also it made here at UrbanGlass with the Bead Project, it opened up this huge community of people sharing their skills, of people sharing their jewelry making skills, showing how to put these things together and saying, hey, I took this one small thing And look what I did with it. I created a community of people who are here to help me. We back each other. It's very strong. People aren't competitive. They really honestly want to help each other. And that is the beauty of the Bead Project.
I came into it sort of in a very difficult situation. My job had closed. I was taking care of both my parents. A relationship had just ended, so it was like a lot of hits at the time. And it was something that filled in a part of me that had been broken. So it means the world to me.
What the Bead Project means to me is a place where I have a voice and I feel seen.
The Bead Project is particularly special because there's really not any other programs like that in the New York City area. So to be able to have something, that is more open access, very accessible to women, in particular, non-gender conforming people, POC, and introducing them into this craft really changes the landscape of the glass artistry in general.
So thank you, everyone. Hopefully this was an inspiring presentation and a celebration of the Bead Project. Just on this slide, you can see how you can continue to stay connected with the presenters. I put up here their Instagram handles, so you can follow or message them directly if you're looking for certain sales with them. But we also have a whole collection of Bead Project works, some items from McKenzie, Serena, and Naomi on the online store, and there should be a link coming into the chat where you can go there, or directly through the UrbanGlass website you can access. You just go to shop and then the Bead Project collection. But also, as I mentioned, all of this is free for the participants, and if you do feel I would encourage you to consider supporting the Bead Project with a donation, and the link is here, or you can go directly through our website, urbanglass.org, and then go to support us or support. But yeah, you can stay in touch by joining our mailing list. If you have any direct questions about UrbanGlass or the Bead Project, you can email me at kate@urbanglass.org. Follow us on our social media, which is UrbanGlass_NYC on Instagram. But yeah, stay in touch, please. And thank you so much again, AACG, and to our presenters and to all of you coming today. And if we do have any time for any questions, I think it's a good time to open it up.
Thank you so much, Kate, and thank you to all of the presenters. That was such a great program and very insightful. I think there was a couple things that really stood out to me, one being, of course, access. That was mentioned by a number of people, and glass is one of the most expensive mediums out there. So, access becomes particularly important, particularly when we're talking about the underserved communities. And for a program like the Bead Project to actually fully fund the journey of these women and to provide scholarships so they can participate is incredibly important. And I think the other thing that stood out was when Ghislaine mentioned about it being a safe space to create, which is also very important to these women. And I think what strikes me about the Bead Project is that it's not just about a safe space to create when you're there. What it does is it really empowers these women and gives them the skills they need so that once they leave that space, they are still very much in control of their lives and being able to generate a path for themselves where they are self-sufficient and empowered and doing things that they never thought they could do. Is really one of the special things about this project. And I think we've kind of heard that from everyone, is they never thought that they would be doing this. And without the Bead Project, they wouldn't be where they are. So it's really special. And I'm so grateful to see organizations like UrbanGlass providing this service for the community. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat here. Let's see, a lot of thank yous, a lot of people really enjoying the program. Someone is asking about the Insta links. Okay, Kate, thank you for providing those. All right, great. Well, thank you again, all of you. Thank you, Kate Dowd. Thank you to Ghislaine Sabti and Serena Hale, Naomi Garcia, and McKenzie Gordon, McKenzie Grant-Gordon, the longest name in the bunch. All right, well, I appreciate you all being here. If everyone would like to stay on, you're welcome to do that. I'm just going to stop the recording and you can talk to the artists and participants directly if you have more questions you'd like to ask off air. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great weekend.